Welcome to the Tech Talk video series, looking at all things FinTech. We've been going for about 5 years now, and you can watch all previous episodes on thebanker.com/techtalks. I'm Joy Macknight, Managing Editor at The Banker. And I'm joined by Robb Henshaw, who is CMO and co-founder at Cameyo, which is an application visualization platform. Robb, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So can you tell me a little bit about what Cameyo does?
Yeah, absolutely. So Cameyo is a digital workspace platform that's focused on enabling secure remote work. We do this by making it really simple for organizations to give all of their people access to all of their business critical applications that they need to be productive from anywhere and on any device. So what we do with the digital workspace is we make it really easy for IT to load and publish the applications that their remote workers need, even old legacy Windows applications that don't run on Macs or Chromebooks or iPads, and make those applications, those business critical applications, available to all of their remote workers, no matter where they are and no matter what device they have in their hands.
Okay, so why are financial institutions really looking to migrate their legacy workflow systems to the cloud?
Yeah, I think financial institutions are looking to move their legacy systems and applications to the cloud for several reasons. One, it gives them a lot more flexibility. It reduces complexity and cost. It helps, especially these days, with the scalability of delivering those applications to remote workers around the world. And also, critically, it enhances the security of their legacy systems. So, I think the security piece is really important. Flexibility, scalability, reducing costs, that's all great. But if you do that at the expense of security, then all's for naught. So when it comes to securing these applications, I think one thing that we've seen during the pandemic is that there's a dramatic increase in brute force attacks and ransomware and things like that focused on remote workers who are working on unsecure personal devices. So to be able to move your legacy systems and applications to the cloud, utilizing secure digital workspace technologies like Cameyo, you can actually add additional layers of security to make sure that your people can still work productively without compromising the corporate network and your corporate data.
Okay, and then how has COVID-19 really accelerated this move for financial institutions?
Yeah, the pandemic has dramatically accelerated the shift to the cloud and the need to deliver secure remote work and take your legacy applications and your legacy systems to the cloud. Because what we've learned is that there's no longer a requirement for people to be based in the same physical location. So what this means is that IT needs to be prepared to not only enable people to work remotely, but to make sure that they can be just as productive and as secure as if they were sitting in the office on the corporate network. So, and even though remote work is currently a necessity, most studies are showing that a lot of organizations still plan to support remote work even after the pandemic ends. So the things that the shift to the cloud, the shift to remote work technologies is not just a temporary thing. All IT organizations are now realizing that they need to be able to support this for the long term, if not indefinitely.
But what are the challenges to doing this across multiple jurisdictions, and how does Cameyo look to solve those issues?
When working across multiple jurisdictions, I think especially for financial institutions, they have to make sure that the cloud provider that they're deciding to work with, as well as the supporting technologies, have local data centers in the areas that they're working in. So, if you're working in throughout Europe, you need to make sure that you're choosing a cloud provider that has data centers that are local to where your offices are located. And then similarly, you need to be able to make sure that any remote work technologies that you layer on top of that, like a Cameyo or any other digital workspace, has to be able to run in those in the cloud providers that offer local data centers. So with Cameyo, for example, we work across every cloud provider. So you can utilize Cameyo in Google Cloud, in Azure, in AWS, in IBM Cloud, whichever cloud you choose to operate in. But we also support multi-cloud environments. So if you're an organization who chooses to utilize multiple cloud providers based on the jurisdictions that you work in, we can work across each cloud provider that you choose to utilize. Cameyo also has geolocation capabilities so that we can identify where your individual remote workers are signing in from to make sure that we deliver our service through a local data center for each individual user.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for your insights, Rob.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.